us know.
7 o'clock.
Hi kids, okay, we'll start the meeting. I guess Don and Bart are, Bart is in San Francisco and Don
Don
is
said
in.
participate.
Don talked to me and he said if we needed him, that he would call in, but I don't see us needing him.
Yeah. So I need an approval of the minutes from April 13th.
Motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Vote against the citizens, I don't see anybody on TV. We hear brothers chickens, all right. Police locker room update?
Yes, the only thing I have to report is that, and I think I sent you the plan, Brian Hughes had a request from a subset of the police commission and the chief and some other people, so to redo, I didn't think, I'll explain what it is. I guess they wanted to retain an office area up here because they're adding a dispatch supervisor or something, so what they did was, they took the admin assistant's file storage area that was, I guess, it was originally this, phase 1 or phase 2 had this in it, phase 3 actually, and then they went back because they realized they probably want that extra office space, so they're not gonna touch these, they're just gonna, I guess, relabel them. What they also did was they had this vestibule that was gonna have 2 doors, coming down as corridors.
Yep.
We took that out. And then the existing door from the training classroom area is per the original plan stays. The hallway still flows around, and then I guess it's expanding into the lobby.
But it's just a lock across this.
Yeah, exactly. They put a wall there with a door. So they moved
Free
almost like,
access inside.
yeah. So now you come in and instead of having 2 doors, a door here, now you just come in.
But I thought one of the reasons for making that room wasn't one of the things to have that room more available to the public.
Well, they expanded a lot. I don't know what exactly they're doing in the lobby, because it looks like this now is in phase 3. And it looks like the original floor plan that was there. So I guess maybe they're gonna sweeten up the lobby. And I'm not really sure exactly why, how their intent was met with taking away. So I know what you mean. They were.
Well, I mean, yeah, my understanding was that they were trying to make some level of public space, not that it would be free meeting space for anybody in the public, but to allow, public to come in for meetings and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I don't see how that meets what they thought they wanted or needed at one point.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't.
So one of the things we talked about last time when we were looking at the new police station was that lobby is intimidating when you walk in there. So they probably just want to open it up a little bit, right? So it's more inviting.
It looks like the entire lobby is going to be renovated in some way.
Yeah, I mean, when you walk in that lobby now, even if you're just going in for normal business, it's like I've walked in to meet the chief. It's not an inviting atmosphere. So.
And they're gonna be doing the 2 bathrooms off the lobby, so they're gonna be reworking that whole area anyway. So I guess, I would say new lighting, paint, whatever, and, probably some ceiling work, but I'm just guessing, so.
The lobby looks like you're going into an interrogation room.
I don't know, I've never been in one.
Same here. That's what I've heard.
That's what Jimmy
Been out
Harvey
of
said.
to hide for 50 years.
Yeah, heard,
Yeah.
quotes.
I had my day.
Yeah, so Brian said that he didn't see any significant cost impact, and me looking at it, I kind of agree with him.
Yeah,
We're actually
sure.
taking away work from here, just leaving it the way it is, and then, I think working kind of within the existing footprint of the lobby, which is not going to move it, and then the bathrooms will be in the face in the plan, so.
So I'll give you my Joe Biden moment on this. Where are we with the police station?
Waiting for money. Yeah, Monday. So there's 2 in the, we had a budget meeting earlier this week, and it's the $300,000 for the design, bid documents and all that other stuff is in there in the mix. It just has to be funded, the funding source has to be identified. And also the phase 1 of the renovation, which includes a locker room, is in there too. It's on a list.
Post-July.
It's on a list.
Okay,
I don't know where it's gonna come out as far as priority goes, but it's on their list and their radar screen, so.
So I mean, is it possible that the design could happen in whatever fiscal year?
Yeah.
And then the first phase would actually happen next one,
I
depending on where it falls on the list.
I think there's support for it happening this fiscal year, next fiscal year, July first.
Yeah.
But they can start filling POs before then, so I think Kevin Delaney, finance director, is gonna be going to town council with a lot of requests on how to get, funding for all the things on the wish list. Sure. But I think there's support for it.
good luck to Kevin.
I mean, we were talking about the truck wash, so we'll see. And then there's a lot of fund balance talk, surplus, all that stuff. So we're getting some FEMA money too, so that's it.
Sure, hand it out.
Well,
By then,
we spent a lot of money on
$200,000,
Isaiah.
you'll need $400,000.
No, it's reimbursing us. And not 100%, 90%.
Right.
Well, okay, it gets us halfway there. So anyway, so that's the PD, and so really we're just waiting for someone to say, here's $300,000. Go.
Okay.
Come in with a request to town council and get the committee meetings going. So,
All right,
okay,
senior center update.
senior center.
Saw that nice big package.
Did you
Saw
watch
the nice big price too.
Yeah,
Good luck with
I
that.
got it, yeah, and so I went through their report and I also listened
I
to
mean,
their.
it's a decent report.
Oh, yeah,
Nothing, relatively well done.
Yeah.
A lot of open-ended questions.
right, also unanswered questions.
And this is gonna be, and I shouldn't say, I have to say, but it's like cherry off the pot when it comes to, you wanna go ahead with this thing.
And that's what so I don't know if any of you listened to the town council meeting, but the town council right now is absorbing this. And,
Good word.
so, and that's what the mayor said, he said, there's a lot to take in here, and to me, when I was reading this, it's like, almost like town funded versus why, and the pros and cons, and there's,
But you can't just go like, magic wand, why, you do it. Oh. So,
well, the why doesn't meet the statements of need, which is said and reinforced in this report several times. It says,
but I mean, who can dictate to the why? You
no,
go.
I know that, I know. So,
If I was saying the
Anyway.
why, I'd be saying hit
Yeah.
the road.
but they did a lot of work, they
Yeah.
went to 9 facilities, they crunched them, they got a lot of financials, I went through the whole thing, and I was pretty impressed with the level
I mean,
of,
it's.
research.
It was a good report. The only thing you wanted to probably mention, Mike, is that the estimate we have isn't in play anymore. The numbers and the pricing is probably not even close anymore.
Yeah, I think they recognize that, because they were actually saying, they had a whole list of,
Around 36 million or 44 million.
yeah, they had a whole list of factors, the pandemic, the supply, the Ukraine, the war, and everything else, and they said there's like 8 or 9 items that they said will affect this project, no matter which way you go.
Yep.
So they're,
I have a question. I read through the report. I agree it was very good. One thing we thought that might come out of it is a new statement of need, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen, unless I misread it.
what do you say?
Well,
Oh, you're right.
you're right,
Yeah.
we need a new statement of need to go forward. Whether we get one or not is really not up to us, so
Yeah.
you don't have a dog in the fight, we're waiting on the town council and whoever the powers are that try to convince the town council that the town needs to spend from 36 to 44 million dollars on a senior quote community center. And my own opinion is that number's low because interest rates are gonna go, in my opinion.
Yep.
Based on the people I talk to in the banking world, are gonna start to skyrocket sooner than later. You're gonna see, and a lot of people who are not in the financial world have never seen price rises like this. If you're under 45 years old, you have no idea what this tsunami is. And if you're over 45, kind of forget what it was like in the Jimmy Carter years in gas lines and watching the price of mustard go up every day when you went to the store. It was, people put that out of their minds. But that's clearly in play. We could easily get to that point. And that, construction back then was awful. It was not a pleasant world by any stretch of the imagination. The difference is now, the world has a lot more debt. So there's built-in skyrocketing costs associated with all of that. And the things that companies, countries, governments were able to do 50 years ago, they can't do now because they already shut the power. So there's a lot of people who are very worried, and a lot of people who are very smart are very worried. And there's a lot of people who have never seen this, who are sitting here thinking, oh, this could never happen. Well, I went through a bunch of real estate ups and downs, and I talked to people who were younger than I was, and you just have to sit there and laugh. It could never happen, could it?
Again,
Not only could it happen, it's already happened.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 times. Get your seatbelt on. So, when I read that, they're all valid points. And then I looked at 36 to 44 and said, if you committed today, you might hit 44.
Well, if the CPI went up over 8% year to year, and the construction materials and everything else is outpacing that.
And if you took gasoline out of that, if you take gasoline out of it, my son is an economist, works on this stuff every day. Take gas out of that, it went up even higher. In other words, everything else went up higher than the cost of gasoline. But that's hidden because the focus is on gasoline. This data would have been, instead of 8.3, it would have been 8.8. Right? So anyhow, and they're very pessimistic that this is going to be able to be slowed down for a 12 to 24 month period. That's slowed down. In other words, this they think may be just built in. Think Argentina, Venezuela, only globally. So
Okay,
anyhow,
Okay, and just one final comment, to make the referendum would be challenging. I looked at the schedule, Kevin laid it out, unless the town council says, okay, go. It's really gonna be, and then with this, if you're looking at this, you're like,
well, if they
a lot to think about.
if they decide to do it, the referendum, they just have a different referendum. I mean, that's
Well, they get a special one,
that's
yes,
the minimus cost
Yeah.
compared to
with the next
$44 million.
schedule.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
the next schedule.
Yeah.
so Rocco, before they revise their statement of need, either the town council's gonna say it's not gonna fly, we can't afford it, and it's gonna make them go back to the drawing board, or it's gonna go to referendum, it's gonna get voted down, and then they'll revise their statement of need.
Right,
That's a ways off.
right. So we, my opinion, we just wait. Sit there.
Yeah, just learning from this town, I think their focus is on reducing debt. And I just don't see this in the picture if that's what the plan is, listening to a couple of the town council meetings. So we'll see, but thank you.
You're right,
And certainly to Tom's point, I mean, now is a very tough time to start
to do anything.
to start taking on any debt, thinking about any debt.
Yeah.
And again, it's still,
The town already
to
has
take the
one.
debt on, it's still 2 years away. I mean,
Right.
no one.
But, if you have to, can't not do anything. So there's gonna be compromises and you're gonna have to prioritize what it is you want. In my opinion, the next item, number 6, the Board of Ed, the elementary schools HVAC upgrade, carries a lot more weight in the community than a new senior center. Since, that would be my opinion, since the air quality is still something a lot of people are worried about. So that's the lead into the next one, Mike.
Oh, yeah, okay. The elementary school HVAC project. We got the Fogarty cost estimate I forwarded to you guys, and it's, in round numbers, it's $2.8 million. What I don't know is what's not in there, and that's why you guys probably, I was like, well, it's not in there, but, I looked at a few of the things like this $464,000 in the chiller and associated equipment, I guess that go along with that, and then like 120,000 and change with the unit ventilators, and then everything else is just labor and piping and everything else. So I'm still waiting for the Griswold cost estimate. I reached out to Keys Group, so hopefully we'll get that before the next meeting.
So to me, it looks like he's just going into RS means and pulling values out of the book. And I don't trust any of those values really. I think he's probably light by, 30%. So anything before we go to town council with it, these numbers shouldn't really go to town council yet till we all sit down and talk, because
Yeah, we should
I
get.
think I don't think they really reflect what's going on.
And we had in their scope that Public Building Commission has the opportunity to comment on it, and then they can, you give comments back and they can just do another round. So that's in
But
their
it
scope.
would be nice to get the Keys one
I know.
there and see who was thorough, who, to Jim's point exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe on the next meeting, I'd like to have him call in,
Okay.
because I'd like to ask him some questions.
And if we get Keys Group, we could have, we'll deal with this one first.
Yeah, if Keys gets us something in time to review it before the meeting,
So
maybe I'll call in at a separate time, afterwards.
Yeah. we were trying to get this out to bid quickly, right? And I'm wondering if maybe we just have a special meeting just to talk to him and see what his estimate has in it for contingencies. And he doesn't have any contingency right now, and how he feels his numbers are a month after he did the estimate.
Yeah, he had a design contingency of 15% and an escalation of 5.25% to spring of next year. So
That's too low.
when I was talking to him, I said, this group recognizes what's going on in the, bidding, procurement, supply chain arena. So I said, if you have to put some, other factors in here, do it. They'll understand. But I actually expected to see more, to Jim's point, of more of a contingency, some other, what the heck will happen contingency, I don't know.
If I could make a suggestion, let's get, press Keys a little bit, politely call them and say, hey, where are you?
I did, yeah.
And when we get that, take a look at that, and then to Jim's point, maybe we can have a special meeting. But I'd like to see, since we paid for both of them, there are two different ways of looking at the same thing. Plus, we're all looking at the same thing differently from our own vantage points. That'd be a nice thing to get, so we have some basis of comparison. And then have a special meeting, to talk about that. Maybe we have them in for, not in, but maybe we call them, at different times and see what we get. But I'd rather, before we make a move, I'd rather get that Keys estimate and see how they went about it.
Maybe we could just do a Zoom meeting, Mike. Everybody call into a Zoom meeting instead of going into town hall.
Right.
Yep.
Lisa, you on board with that?
Of course.
She's the Zoom guru.
Do you get paid for a Zoom meeting, Lisa?
Of course.
I imagine you would.
Of course. Just
Not
say-
if she's sitting on her couch.
We might be here. I don't know how we're gonna do it from her house. So, well, you're right. You could all actually log on and just go to the Zoom.
I'll
She's
come.
always got a laptop.
I cannot get sound on my Zoom meetings. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So.
I'm not working anymore, so I don't give a.
At least you get sound, but we just want to take the audio away.
I can see everybody, but.
So, okay, that's a plan.
Okay.
And also just a quick update, the town council approved the Fryer Architecture increase in the contract amount. So we paid that last invoice.
Okay, good.
And I just started working on I forgot about the change order, so I have to do that so that this group can have it, and we'll send it to Fryer, and it'll all be sort of, the bookkeeping will be done.
Okay.
And, we'll organize it, so.
Okay.
But the PO has been increased, without the change order form.
So that's,
Get that done. And that'll allow Fryer to continue on the Willard, wrap up the Willard bid package, which is ready to go pretty much except for the dates and a few other things.
Okay.
You know, the prevailing wage package and everything else. So that's on hold again to figure out. And when I was in that meeting, the budget meeting, I did mention that this group is ready to go on Willard. The package is pretty much done. And the ARPA funds, you know, are there, $5.3 million. So it's up to the town council to tell us what to do.
Give us direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the town manager and finance director both know that it's on their radar screen, and they know that needs to be done, so.
Yep.
Any
So that-
update on the other fund?
I don't know, yeah. That's still out there, and there may be a bonding request in for those. So I don't know how they wanna, if they're looking just at Willard first and then get the cost estimates from us and take a whack at it, or are they gonna just go do Willard now, we'll figure the rest out once we get the cost estimates and whatever this commission reports back.
So the Fogarty invoice is there.
Yes, I'll get to that next. Don't jump ahead of me now.
Yeah.
She wants to beat the record. All right, I have 3 invoices here. 2 from CES, one for the Hubbard School, $4,500, and that's for contract docs, and it gets them to be finished, which they are. So invoice dated April 30th, 2022 for $4,500. Motion to approve.
Hey, Mike, just a question. How do the specifications look?
They look very detailed and quite lengthy. But again, I'm not an inside guy, I'm more of a site work guy, so.
Has anybody, did
Doug,
we get those sent out?
I think Doug took a look at them at the 90% level, I believe. And I forwarded everything to Doug and this group when they came in.
Okay,
So if you wanna, if you wanna sign that, we hold back until, you want me to send them back out again, and since we're about to sign off on this? And we'll hold the invoices to make sure everyone's happy with it?
yeah, I'd like to take one more look at the specifications.
Okay, tell you what, I'll send everything back out so you don't have to go back through your email threads, because we had, 90%, and before that we had preliminary design documents, so, I will send it out to the group and to Doug and say, okay, guys, yes or no?
Well, just, why don't we leave it like this? Why don't we approve it? And if anybody has any issues, get in touch with you. I'm sure they'll correct them.
That's right.
So is there a second to that?
I make a motion. I second it.
Okay, all in favor? Oh, you,
No, but he made it and he seconded it all at the same time.
no, Jason,
I know, Mike.
So I guess the same thought process will apply to Griswold CES. Okay, well, I have an invoice dated April 30th for Griswold for contract documents, which will complete that part of the contract. $5,850.
Make a motion.
Make a motion, we pay it.
Too late, too late. You may second it though.
I don't want to be second again.
All right, Rocco?
Super.
What was the motion, to pay it or to review it upon?
Pay it after an appropriate review.
I'll second that upon review.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. And then the last invoice we have is from Fogarty for $3,300, which was what we agreed to.
Yeah.
And we received it.
The day after he sent the estimate, we received the invoice.
That's all about cash
If
flow.
he was efficient, he would have sent it
At the
with the
same
estimate.
time, exactly. We've had that happen too.
Yeah, some people are very good about
Yeah.
that.
So then, I'm sorry, I've had COVID, I've had this, I've had that, sorry it took so long. But the invoice came the next day.
Well, there's an invoice dated April 29th for $3,300 from Fogarty for the Hubbard Elementary School estimate.
If we're gonna talk to him, do we do we want to hold off on further conversation? Or do we want to, I'm asking the group, do we approve it based off of him completing the initial estimate?
Well, he,
Did the work, I mean, I don't think we're not gonna accept it, I mean, we're gonna, look, he gave us what we contracted for.
Yep.
So that doesn't mean we can't question him, but I do think, he did the work.
Mike, what do you got? Mike, what are the how quickly do the bills get paid? Like 30 days?
We typically do between 30 and 45 days.
Yeah, so we should try to have a special meeting, within the next 30 days. He billed April 29th, so he's due by, let's say, Memorial Day. So maybe we could just have our quick meeting and discussion with him and figure out how he came up with his numbers and make sure we're all comfortable.
Yeah, and I think
What that means though, that if we submit it to be paid, it's not gonna get paid for another,
oh no, it'll go, if we send it in, it'll be within a week and a half, right? Because if we get it by the Friday, they'll have cut the check the next Friday. What I'm saying is overall, we get it by the time it gets to them. But
oh, I see what you're
if you
saying.
kick it down
They
there.
don't hold it for 30.
No.
We hold it. Okay.
Yeah.
We can approve it, sit on it for 2 weeks. and we'll go from there.
Why don't we,
I'll just-
approve it at the special meeting?
We'll wait till a special meeting.
Yeah, and their invoice came in probably the day after, this is May 4th, so it was actually May 5th that we received it. I know the date on that said April 29th, but we received it, I think, the 5th. So it's not, it's an extra week, but we're still within the
Because
same
the
month.
girls are working from home too. They say,
Yeah,
prepare an invoice and then it takes the girls and.
Bill accounting.
and I don't disagree with that, because we had,
I
send us it, we have comments, and then if we have comments, revise it, so they're really, it's not unreasonable to withhold it.
Yeah, we're within our purview
Yeah.
of approval with that. All right.
So what are you all proposing for that meeting
I-
day?
I don't know,
May
I think,
30th.
yeah, no, I don't think we should have a date yet because we haven't gotten the information from Keys.
Right.
So it depends on if, another polite phone call to Keys, hey, when are we gonna get it, then we can select a date.
You are correct.
So we'll just email everybody with a date once Keys,
Our next.
man, I don't wanna set a date, then have to change it.
No, understood, but our next official meeting is, what, June?
The second Thursday.
Yeah, I know, I don't know what the date is, I'm sorry. I realize, thank you for reminding me of that. I often forget that nuance. So the,
June 9th,
Thursday of the
June 9th.
second full week,
June 9th.
Yes.
so whether or not we would wanna try to do something the second.
No,
Before
much
it or
sooner,
after?
much sooner.
But we don't have to have a special meeting on a Thursday night.
Yeah, we can have it on any time.
And if it's Zoom, it's.
Yeah, why don't we look like at the 24th of May or something? A Tuesday night.
I have water control on that night. If you're gonna do it on Zoom,
My suggestion is, rather than set a date now and then have to cancel it, and set another date, if we don't get the Keys estimate,
but I'm
is to wait until we get the Keys estimate and then bang a date.
just looking for your input probability because of this very thing.
I don't know
like
Mr. Keys,
your-
so I have no idea what he's gonna send the damn thing in.
I like your feedback on what are possible dates, and I'm telling you that, I have a meeting on the 24th
Oh, I
already.
see what you're saying, okay.
And I'm just looking for
No, I
your
think
possibilities.
That's an excellent idea, and thank you for bringing that up, and.
I'm not gonna sign your,
And I guess you don't need to, really, especially if you're doing it Zoom. You've all learned how to do that well.
do Zoom, I'll have to come in here with Mike.
Lisa, are you talking about eliminating yourself?
Maybe for that special meeting, maybe you don't.
Saratoga, right?
Scott,
Kobraski.
Roski.
Tom will come
You
in
know-
on the Zoom meeting from here for us.
I don't know him well, but I've met him before.
Okay.
No, nothing back yet from him, so.
You should probably just pick a couple of dates and ask which dates work best for whoever. And what estimate are we waiting for, Tom?
Keys,
Keys.
So the Griswold School.
the Griswold, yeah.
He wanted to compare those apples first.
I mean, we had, I wasn't here, but you guys gave one to Fogarty, one to Keys, which is a good idea.
Yeah.
And especially with the points you bring up, Jim, it's it'd be nice to get that and have something to really sink our teeth into.
Okay, and you think we're gonna get that win, Mike?
I don't know.
We don't.
I followed up, I'm waiting for a response back. They've been kind of radio silent since the middle of last month. so-
Copy me on the next time you send him an email.
Okay,
I don't have any problem ringing his bell.
okay, Jim. You got it.
But that being said, I guess to Lisa's point, I mean, would we be possibly thinking of like the Wednesday or Thursday, the 25th and 26th, or the 1st and 2nd before our regular meeting on the 9th, if we want to just try to keep things moving? But
I will not, I'm out of pocket on the 2nd before the meeting. I have a doctor's appointment down in the
See what I'm saying? That's why I want to know.
Well,
I
I'm just,
really don't think, I
just
don't
for that,
think
I'm
we
gonna
can
say
pick
no to every other date you bring up, just on
Yeah.
principle. The obstreperous.
Rocco.
I don't think we can solidify any time frame until we know when we're getting the other estimate.
I mean, we could
If
have,
we can get a date from Keys,
we could also have the meeting at 4 o'clock.
yeah, exactly.
People who are still working,
I mean,
this guy has,
All right,
I don't think we can pick a day until we have that estimate, and then once we have it, it'll be pretty quick to solidify.
Yeah. my suggestion. All right. Any,
we
before
need a
we,
line for new business.
any word from friends over on the other side of the building about the school audit? Just that for giggles?
I think they got acknowledgement that the state, I think officially acknowledged that they received.
Jim was a freaking chairman
I'm not
back
sure.
then. That's
I'm
from
not
4
sure.
years ago.
But I think Doug said that they did get the acknowledgement, which is good. But then I guess that starts the clock ticking for the audit, but, other than that, I don't have any more information for you than that. But everything's been sent in, and I think Tom Smith was gonna come by and actually set more stuff up in preparation for that. And he hasn't billed us either. He has a $5,000,
It's not him I'm worried about.
Yeah.
It's the state.
no, it's not gonna go fast.
So
Something.
Jim wanted to add a line for new business.
Okay,
Okay,
that was new business. I mean, it's like the last decade when we finished the school. You have any new business?
we need to make a
You're
motion.
muted.
you're muted. Jim,
No, but that was good. I wanted to know what was going on with the high school.
Yeah,
Mike, do they have a time frame they have to review it?
I don't know. I keep hearing 3
I don't
years.
think so.
at this point, I
Keep
think,
hearing years.
Jim, I think from a couple of people I know that are
That's a good question. I don't know if there's a statutory time,
That are
time limit for them.
attorneys.
I'll ask.
back at the bank who deal with the state, they can do what they want at this point because the FBI is in there. So all bets are off.
All
They should
because of
hand out a
COVID.
3x5 card that the answer to all the questions right now is beats the ass off of me. Because nobody knows anything and nobody's willing to commit.
Regardless of people, it just staff changes, retirements, all that, they're just, it's just chaos.
And people, when you get the FBI involved, people get scared, they clam up.
Even without that, there's enough people
I
retiring
know.
in all the different departments that it's just.
So this may take, what will happen though, once they start, is it'll probably go pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Because they're just, this is a big blotch, they wanna get rid of this thing. But they don't know what they have right now.
So I'll tell you what, I'll find out if there's a statutory time limit for them and what the last go-round. I think Kevin said it was a couple of years after a closeout was initiated or sent in. So I'll give you 2 pieces of information if I can get it.
Okay.
Okay, Jim?
Mike? Thank you.
Anything else?
Nope.
Rocco, back to your ice cream.
I make a motion to
Very
adjourn the meeting.
comfortable with that window behind you.
He's made his.
I second it.
He has to hurry. Rocco made the motion, Jim seconded.
All in favor? All right,
Have a good night.
I guess we'll hear from you, we'll email or call or whatever when that Keys things comes in and we'll set up something.
Okay, 7:36.
Okay, thanks.
Take care.
Okay, guys.
So these I signed the